With the new update likely bringing in a bunch of changes and additions to the game mechanics, I figured I would wait to make more guide videos until after its release. So here's a list of my 10 favorite pals in the game so far. This list is purely subjective and I'm simply rating them based on how much I enjoyed the game whenever I use these pals. So let's get started. Number 10 is Dick Toys. This spinning Beyblade was actually my favorite pal in my first playthrough when I didn't really care much about efficiency or even fully understand how things worked in the game. I just really liked the design and enjoyed watching it spin around everywhere. Having to constantly go on mining runs was such a chore, but it was oddly satisfying to watch Dick Toys just melt the nodes in seconds. While I haven't necessarily used it much in my recent playthroughs, because there are generally better alternatives, Dick Toys is one of the main reasons I fell in love with the game, so it will always have a special place in my heart. Number 9 is Rayhound. Now objectively speaking, Rayhound is just a worse Fangalope. It doesn't have any cool exclusive skills, nor is it really that good in combat. Then why is it one of my favorite pals? Because I love the design. Just like Dick Toys, this was a staple on my team in my first playthrough, and I used it a lot in dungeons. It's fast, has a small size, plus a solid double jump that never made it seem like I even needed something like Fangalope. I'd gotten it fairly early on from a wild egg and really enjoyed having it as a mount. Now I will say though, that this doggo needs some love from Pocket Pair. Its speed just does not match the description, which reads, "At full speed, it could be mistaken for a lightning bolt." So many mounts have gotten cool exclusive charge skills. Just give this electric good boy an exclusive skill that lets it turn into a bolt of lightning or something. That'd be awesome. Number 8 is Liftmonk. In terms of cuteness, Liftmonk is my favorite pal in the game. An adorable murder hobo that likes to jump on your head and mows down your enemies with a submachine gun is probably one of the most ridiculous and best things I've experienced in a video game. One of my fondest moments of my first playthrough was running around with 5 of these on my team and just laughing my ass off while I melted all the early game bosses. Number 7 is Shadowbeak. It's arguably the strongest dark type in the game because of its powerful exclusive skills. It has a pretty cool design overall, but I'm not really a big fan of how silly it looks while flying with its feet dangling like this. I really only use it for one thing, and that's combat against bosses. You can tell that even Pocket Pair designed it solely for combat because it got 2 of the same powerful exclusive skills while being completely useless as a base pal with its only level 1 in Gathering. Number 6 is Chillet. I think Chillet is almost perfect in every way. It's cute and surprisingly strong for a pal we get so early in the game. It also has a unique typing of Ice Dragon, which is strong against both Dragon and Dark types. 2 of the most common types in the game. While we don't necessarily encounter too many dragon types in the early game, it being a dragon type itself is super handy since dark type pals are everywhere, especially if you like running dungeons. While it's not the fastest mount you can have, the fact that it changes your attack to dragon type while mounted is fantastic. Not only that, it also boosts your attack to a total of 100% when fully condensed, which makes it a great option even in the early game. Number 5 is Daizamu. I hope some of the new pals we're getting have a partner skill as awesome as Daizamu's. While it isn't exactly great in terms of overall stats or combat or even as a worker in your base, it's easily one of the best mounts in the game. It is a one-trick emu, but it does that trick so well that pretty much all of its weaknesses are irrelevant. I made an entire video comparing the stats and speeds of all the best ground mounts and showcased Daizamu's insane speed on dirt and sand. Since the Sakurajima update, I don't really visit the desert without Daizamu in my party. Even though Jet Dragon is still faster, I don't have nearly as much fun flying around Jet Dragon as I do zooming my way across the desert on this speed demon. Number 4 is Anubis. Who doesn't love Anubis, right? Easily the most versatile pal we can have so far. Not only is it one of the best pals for your base, it's also top tier in combat. Its small size lets it navigate your base without getting stuck anywhere, it runs super fast, and everything about it from its design to animations is all really cool. And as far as I know, it's still the only pal in the game with 3 exclusive skills. I think it's one of the clear favorites of the devs alongside Shadowbeak. I would be surprised if a lot of people would disagree with me if I called Anubis the best pal in Palworld. Alright, number 3 is Ursurk. This is easily one of the coolest and strongest pals in the game. I first saw it when I challenged the tower boss and thought it was a legendary. I absolutely love how it moves in combat. Hunched over menacingly like a wild beast ready to pounce. And then look at how badass it looks when it uses its exclusive skills. Just like Anubis, it's a fantastic pal both for your base and for combat. The devs put so much effort into making Ursurk as cool and versatile and strong as possible, which is why I will never understand why they chose to give it such a dog shit partner skill. It says when fighting together, water pals drop more items when defeated. Really? You're saying that this ferocious thunder dragon is so intimidating that water pals basically shit themselves? As an example, some of the other pals with a similar partner skill are Penking, Valette, Catris, and a few others. While most of these pals aren't necessarily bad, they're not even in the same league as this badass god of lightning. So please, Pocket Pair, I beg you, please give it a more useful partner skill so this pal can rise into the ranks of legend. Alright, number 2 is Noclum. I mean, look at it. This is the defender of the innocents, the vanquisher of evil, the alpha, the big boss, the one you don't want to owe any money to, the Giga Chad of all pals. Not only does it have an amazing design and is incredibly useful around the base, but it has hands down the best partner skill in the game. While Steel Guardian mode is active, Noclum's just unkillable. When fully condensed, it gets a whopping 200% boost to its attack and defense for 40 seconds, and it only has a 50-second cooldown. Unless the new update adds more bosses that are grass type or use more grass type skills, Noclum is practically unstoppable. It's currently my boss killer alongside Ursurk and Shadowbeak. And if it weren't for the fact that I consider the game unplayable for me without the number 1 pal on this list, Noclum would have easily been at the top. But before that, here's a few honorable mentions that did not make the cut. Pyrene, one of the coolest designs and one of the best ground mounts we can have. Grisbolt, this is just a Pikachu on steroids that uses a minigun. Need I say more? Verdash, once it's fully condensed, it passively boosts your movement speed by 40%, so I use it a lot when I'm in my base. Frostallion and Frostallion Nocturnal. I think they're both really cool designs, they're both very strong, I really like them. And Jet Dragon. Who doesn't like zooming around on a jet plane, right? Okay, let's finally move on to number 1, which is Galeclaw. I am not even exaggerating when I say that Galeclaw has single-handedly ruined my gaming experience for all other games besides Palworld. It's no longer enough for me to be able to just sprint or dash. No matter what game I'm playing these days, I'm constantly thinking about how much I miss gliding everywhere. I started playing Black Myth Wukong a few days ago, and some of my deaths have been because I unconsciously tried to glide out of the way instead of dodging. So when I first discovered Galeclaw, I've never removed it from my team, ever. No matter what I do in the game, I pretty much consider building a team of 4 because not using a Galeclaw is just unthinkable to me now. Not only is it insanely fast when it's fully condensed, but being able to shoot while gliding is so fun. Having so much mobility with no cooldown or drawbacks is easily one of the main reasons I enjoy the gameplay of Palworld so much. And that's why Galeclaw earns the top spot on my favorites list. Alright, that's it. I cannot wait to see what new pals are adding to the game, and if any of them make it into this list. Let me know in the comments what your favorite pals are so far. With that, thanks for watching. Peace!